Welcome to CAN, Caribbean Affiliate News. My name is Siobhan Gobin. The segment of the news is sponsored by Total Caribbean Network. Here are the stories that we're following today, September 18th to 2013. In international news, a top Russian diplomat visiting Damascus says Syria has turned over material aimed at showing that a chemical weapons attack last month was carried out by rebels. The August 21st attack precipitated the current high tensions over Syria's chemical weapons and sparked a plan under which Syria is to abandon the weapons. A report by UN investigators confirmed chemical weapons were used but did not say by which side in the civil war. The ITAR TASS news agency quoted Deputy Foreign Minister Sergei Ryabkov as saying that Syria told Russian officials the material bears witness to the rebels participating in the chemical attack, but that Russia is not yet drawing any conclusions. Ryabkov met Tuesday with Syrian Foreign Minister Walid al-Mualim and is expected to meet with President Bashar Assad today. A Massachusetts man who chatted online with other men about their desire to kidnap, rape, kill, and eat children was sentenced Tuesday to nearly 27 years in prison after prosecutors showed photos of a basement dungeon he built, a child-sized coffin, and butchering tools and metal restraints. Jeffrey Portway, 40 of Worcester, was sentenced to 26 years and 8 months behind bars, just under the 27-year, 3-month sentence sought by prosecutors. Assistant U.S. Attorney Stacey Dawson Belf said chats recovered from Portway's computer show he solicited people for help for kidnapping with the intent of raping, killing, and eating a child. She disputed claims by Portway's attorney that he was merely fantasizing and did not intend to do the things he described online. Belf read from one of his chats and said Portway had assembled everything he needed to carry out his plan except for a child, saying this is all he lives for. Belf said Portway can only claim fantasy here because he hadn't done it yet. Portway's attorney, Richard Sweeney, called the room in Portway's basement a theater rather than a dungeon and said Portway used it as part of his fantasy world. In Mr. Portway's case, there's pornography, there's a fantasy world, there's no child, Sweeney said. Sweeney said Portway had a troubled life after realizing at a young age that he was gay. Feeling as though his father and his peers didn't accept that, he began to retreat into a fantasy world, Sweeney said. Portway's family moved often and he lived in 4 different countries. The family eventually settled in Massachusetts. Sweeney said Portway had a history of mental health problems dating back to when he was in middle school. Portway expressed his own desire to be eaten as a young child, he said. Sweeney argued for a sentence of 20 years or less, saying he deserves punishment, but accepted responsibility soon after his arrest. Portway, a British citizen, faces deportation. U.S. District Court Judge Timothy Hillman said he agreed with prosecutors that Portway should serve his sentence before he's sent to the United Kingdom. Sweeney, however, said he has the right to seek to serve the prison term in his home country. Portway discussed killing and eating children with men in Kansas, Florida, and other states. He pleaded guilty to possession and distribution of child pornography and solicitation to commit a crime of violence. The families of 5 children identified in pornographic images on Portway's computer sought restitution. In an agreement with prosecutors, Portway will pay each of those 5 victims $3,000. As water recedes and flows east onto the Colorado plains, revealing toppled homes, buckled highways, and fields of tangled debris, rescuers are shifting their focus from emergency airlifts to trying to find the hundreds of people still unaccounted for after last week's devastating flooding. Federal and state emergency officials, taking advantage of sunny skies, said more than 3,000 people have been evacuated by air and ground, but calls for those emergency rescues have decreased. In one of these searches on Tuesday, Sergeant First Class Keith Bart and Sergeant Jose Pantoja leaned out the window of a Black Hawk helicopter, giving the thumbs up sign to people underground while flying outside of hard-hit Jamestown. Most waved back and continued shoveling debris, but then Bart spotted 2 women waving red scarves and the helicopter descended. Pantoja attached his harness to the helicopter's winch and was lowered to the ground. He clipped a woman in and they laughed as they were hoisted into the Black Hawk. After dropping off the woman at the Boulder airport, the Black Hawk was back in the air less than a minute later to resume the search. The state's latest count has dropped to about 580 people missing, and the number continues to decrease as the stranded get in touch with families. One of the missing is Gerald Boland, a retired math teacher and a basketball coach who lives in the damaged town of Lyons. Boland's neighbors, all of whom defied a mandatory evacuation order, said Boland took his wife to safety Thursday, then tried to return home. Two search teams went looking for him on Monday. State officials reported 6 flood-related deaths, plus 2 women missing and presumed dead. The number was expected to increase. It could take weeks or even months to search through flooded areas looking for bodies. State officials have put initial estimates at more than 19,000 homes damaged or destroyed throughout the flooded areas. You are watching Caribbean Affiliate News. We will be right back.
Excuse me, if you see me smiling, that's 'cause I'm chilling on Total Caribbean Network. It's your boy Wyclef Jean, man, and I'm chilling, man. Total Caribbean Network. Man, I love their style. Whoa, 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 whoa.